I came across LadyBoss a while back, a couple years ago on Facebook, and like wasn't into it then. But a couple years ago, we moved from California and moved across to North Carolina. So I had to quit my job and leave my friends. And at that point, I had already gained like a good bit of weight back. I don't know if it was like the stress of my job or what it was then. And then when we moved to North Carolina, I was just in like a very, I guess like, I don't want to say depressed, but very like sad state where I just hated who I had become, hated the way I looked. I had a lot of negative self-talk. I felt myself becoming negative and always being negative, talking bad about people, just in general, just everything. And one day I was just like, this has to stop. And so I, of course, because of my weight gain, started looking at weight loss. And then, of course, Kaelin came up again, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should try this LadyBoss thing. I've seen it before, pushed it off. So that's when I signed up. And obviously it was like, take my money. I want to be a lifetime member. I want to do this and go all in.
Okay. So before you started LadyBoss, what were your biggest struggles? What was holding you back?
Well, at the time, I don't know. I don't know if it was just that. Wait, what was holding me back from joining LadyBoss, or what was holding me back
from achieving your goals and doing what you wanted to do? What were your roadblocks?
I mean, roadblocks were definitely lack of knowledge, lack of knowing how to fuel my body, what to eat, things that I thought were okay are clearly not okay. And yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Definitely that.
Okay. And so you signed up, you started with LadyBoss, and what made it click this time? What made you?
This time it was definitely the knowledge that I gained from it, just showing that like you don't have to go and make these big, extravagant, huge meals. Meal prep doesn't have to look like 4 hours in the kitchen every Sunday. It can be like her new blocking method, you know, it wasn't that back then, but just making sure you're adding your proteins and your vegetables and all that. That was, to me, it just clicked. I'm like, why have I never understood this? And then the way that she breaks down looking at labels, like that to me, I never even looked at a nutrition label before. It wasn't anything. I was just like, this looks good, I'm going to buy it. Mm-hmm. After joining LadyBoss, that was definitely something I learned. But I think overall what kept me was the sisterhood. Because at the time I was feeling so lonely and so down on myself, that like hatred on myself poured out to others. So, of course, joining LadyBoss and like the love that everyone spreads for each other, and then just learning how to love yourself, it's like, it's really empowering. So.
So when you started, you wanted to lose the weight, but externally, were there other things that you wanted to change?
Not necessarily externally. I definitely, thank you. I always felt like I wanted to be a runner. Mm-hmm. And, you know, runners have like a certain physique. They have a certain way that they look and how they train, and you know, you think of a runner and it's this thing, like the way they eat, everything that they do. And when I came up with this idea, I'm going to start running half marathons, everyone looked at me like, good luck with that. You can't do that. That's not who you are, you know. Mm-hmm. But I was like, yeah, watch me, because when I seek out to do something, I do it. So that was one thing that I was like, I have to push forward to do. I'm sorry, repeat the question again, because I forgot what I was talking about.
It was just like, externally, what did you want to change?
Oh yeah, so that definitely was like, I wanted to become a runner. That was like a huge goal of mine, was I want to be able to do this. But then I don't know about this externally either, but I also struggled with like back pain a lot. And so one of my biggest things was like, I want to be able to work out. Like I couldn't do burpees, I couldn't do lunges, I couldn't do anything without having this pain. And so my goal was always like, I want to be able to I want someone to tell me, go do this, and I can do it and not think, oh, that's going to hold me back. So for me, it was not necessarily all external, like physical, but it was a lot of like getting past this mental roadblock of like, you can do what you want to achieve.
Okay. And what about internally? Were there internally? Yeah.
That was a lot of the internal.
Some of it was, yeah. But also the back pain would be external.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
So internally, what was kind of holding you back?
So another thing is, and this is something I still struggle with trying to find, is having hypothyroidism. It's something that it's not talked about with how you should eat or what you should do. And I was actually diagnosed with it like shortly before I found LadyBoss. And so for me, it was just really hard to get past this thing. Like, they tell you it's going to be really difficult, and you just don't realize how difficult it's going to be until you're in that point. And you're like, I'll do it, I'll do whatever it takes. It just takes a lot of effort. So internal, and it's still today a battle. You know, you see somebody else who starts and their progress is maybe faster, but that's also the beauty, is like, you can't compare yourself to somebody else's story. Their story's different.
So how did you get started? I mean, what did you just say, okay, I'm going to drink more water today, or I'm going to follow the workouts of the trainer, or what was the thing that kind of got you going?
Well, as an angel, I know we tell them, like, take it one day at a time, ease into it, but I was like, no, I'm going all in, like 100%. At the time, I didn't have a job because I told you I just moved across the country, and so I literally, the day I signed up, downloaded the app, watched every single video, wrote out my 10 goals, took my my before picture, my day one, and went to the gym that day. I was like, today I'm going to go run 2 miles. I don't care how long it takes me, I'm doing it. And I remember my first video I posted on Facebook, and I said, this is my first time. I went out for 2 miles and I wanted to die, but I did it. And so just the support I got from that day is what kept me like, this is my place.
Okay, good. So over time, what were some of the roadblocks that you ran into? What were the things that kind of stopped your progress, or kind of maybe put you off on a detour, or how did that all go?
Well, that one cheat meal that always turns into a cheat day, that turns into a cheat weekend. I mean, that happens, I'd say, more often than I'd like to admit. But the whole point is pick yourself back up and just keep going. Just because I messed up once, like, you don't just end your world and end everything because you messed up. So pick yourself back up, start again. Then that day, tell myself, like, that's it, it's done, throw it away, move on. Like, it's in the past. So.
Okay. So what goals have you achieved as LadyBoss, and how did LadyBoss help you get there?
So far I have lost. I lost 20 pounds, gained 5 of it back, but so I'm down still a total of 15 pounds. Before LadyBoss, I had high cholesterol, high sugar. I had, what else? High triglycerides. I mean, all of these things that my doctor looked at me and said, like, this is not healthy, this is not okay. And at the time, she's like, you need to stay away from this. And I'm like, how can one person do this? How is this possible? Well, with starting LadyBoss, I think it was only 3 months in for my next blood panel, whatever. Mm-hmm. And she said, circled the paper and put a smiley face and said, I want all of my patients to look like this. Yeah. What have you been doing? And I told her. And so that was like, that is huge for me, just to know that, like, that part of me is healthy. And my half marathons, I have shaved off 35 minutes for my first time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make sure it's still on.
Yes.
Yes, good. Okay. So, so you talked a little bit about the pocket trainer, and then you're an angel. So how does that make a difference for you?
Being an angel or being, okay.
Either one.
The trainer, I think it is unlike any other program that I think's out there, because I've tried before this, and I won't mention any other ones, but I've tried some that were like, you have to count the macros and you have to do that. And to me, it was I couldn't start with that. I didn't know where to begin because it was so confusing. You can't have fiber before you eat, before you work out, and you can't have, there were so many things that I'm like, I physically don't understand this to just sit and do this myself. With the trainer, it's so easy. It's literally like, it's so spelled out for you. It's so, I don't even know how else to explain it. It's just simple. The workouts, the videos, how to explain how to do everything. Throw in a little cardio movement. Now do your 30 minutes of cardio. I thought I had to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours at the gym every day. And then after the trainer, I'm like, man, I just killed my workout, killed my whatever muscle group, and I'm leaving in an hour, So, and then being an angel, I think has been, I'm naturally a positive person. And so I think that's when I found that negative part in my life. I was like, something's got to go. But I'm naturally very positive, and I want to cheer people on and spread love to other people. And for me, that just is natural. And so I love that aspect that, we get to do that in the group, whether you're an angel or not, just having that ability to be able to do that instead of gossip and hate on women.
So what do you think other women you need to hear? What would you tell them about why they should join LadyBoss?
Oh my God, because it's women empowering one another. I mean, in the world, that's not what they do. You see the magazines when you're checking out at the grocery store, and it's all about, oh, this person has cellulite, and this person's overweight, and this person, and you're just thinking like, that's a human. That's a human that you're tearing down for what reason? Like, we need to lift each other up and empower one another, not, because we already have these self-thoughts, and we don't need somebody else exploiting those, So it's just, that's another thing people have to realize, like, your one self-doubt, if you say that to someone else out loud, like, it could kill them. You never know. So
what's your favorite part about being a LadyBoss?
The sisterhood. I told Kaelin that herself yesterday. I said, this sisterhood you created is literally the best thing ever. I mean, it's everything. It's literally changed my life completely.
Okay. And that's it. So if there's one thing that I didn't think of to ask you, if there's one more thing you would tell somebody, what else would you tell them about LadyBoss?
If they're holding back, they need to just step into the fear and go. Just go. Because it's going to change your life, and it's not going to be for the worse. I mean, I don't know anyone that said, oh, crap, I lost 20 pounds. Like, what am I going to do? It's, right. I mean, I don't know. I can't imagine my life without these women, without LadyBoss, without any of this. So